What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Ticker Fee video and welcome to the Ticker Fee family. So today, the ticker symbol we're going to be talking about today is going to be NNDM, or Nano Dimensions, and what we're going to be talking about specifically is how Nano Dimensions' first additively manufactured electronic, or AME circuit, is sent to the International Space Station flight studies. So we'll break that down. Then the next thing we'll talk about is the new infrastructure plan, the $2 trillion infrastructure plan, and how that will correlate with Nano Dimensions and their company. And then we'll finish this video off with a chart analysis. So guys, I really do appreciate you taking the time to listen to this video as always. For those that are here for the first time listening to this channel, I really appreciate you tuning in. And for those that have been supporting me so far, thank you so much. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so if you're hearing Nano Dimension, or NNDM, for the first time, let me kind of break down a quick little summary of what they do. So they are a provider of intelligent machines for the fabrication of, again, additively manufactured electronics, or AME. Now, they are high fidelity active electronic and electromechanical sub-assemblies are integral enablers of autonomous intelligent drones, cars, satellites, smartphones, and even Vivo medical devices. Now, with that being said, they've got rapid prototyping and production of the Dragonfly LDM system that is being deployed in a wide range of industries, including academic and research institutions, defense, aerospace, autonomous automotives, right, robotics, and biotech. Now, its ability is to enable on-site prototyping in a matter of hours instead of weeks, and they create products with better performance that reduce the size and weight of electronic parts and devices. So guys, they have, again, they have also got, and what they're known for as well is going to be the 3D printing. So a highly sought after company. They're wide on many people's radar. So I just wanted to point that out. But with that being said, let's go check out what was the circuit that was sent to the International Space Station. Okay, so let's check out the announcement. So they announced the first ever integrated RF circuit fabricated by Nano Dimensions. Now, it was designed and integrated by L3 Harris and has been flown into the International Space Station. Now, here's the thing. There was a couple things I wanted to highlight and really what I wanted you to focus on. So this project, 2 years in the making, right? Okay, now think about that. That's a long time. So they've been going back and forth talking about this. So this is not just a whim, right? So this has been talked about and designed, and now it's being shipped to them. So it was selected by the ISS US National Laboratory for Space Effects Studies. The project will provide a systematic analysis of additively manufactured single board for radio frequency, or RF space systems, especially for nano satellites. Now, it will communicate with a ground-based satellite tracking system. So I wanted to point that out, okay? Now, at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, which is located in Florida, you've got the 3D inkjet printer-based technology to produce this RF communication systems for use in space. Now, Nano Dimension fabricated this single RF board using its proprietary additively manufactured electronics process in the Dragonfly LDM system. Now, with that being said, it says that the board includes the antenna, electronic traces for the mounting all the functional components, the signal ground plane, and the fabricated communication device was designed again by LH Harris to operate at a 2.4 GHz and to be integrated into this module and launch. Okay, so with that being said, that's great. That's more of the technical side, but here's the other part that I wanted to highlight and mainly focus on. So this device will be tested at 3 program points: pre-flight, in-flight, and post-flight. Now, in this first of its kind spaceflight experiment, the hardware will fly in the low Earth orbit. Okay, now they consider that the LEO environment for 6 months on the ISS, which will provide scientists with a better understanding of how AME technology endures its various space environments. Boom. So this is what I wanted to highlight. So they're going to test it out for these 6 months. see how it is in the orbit, see how it is in space. What can it hold up? How strong is it? If this is a proven theory and then it works, it's going to make so much sense for them to only order more and continue to work with them and continue to buy their technology. So this test is huge. This catalyst by itself can really launch Nano Dimensions. So I'm super excited about this because this can really help the company out. Now, with that being said, I also want to point out that low Earth orbit, a region some 1,200 miles above the planet, is home to the ISS, as well as a large number of communication satellites, all of which utilize RF communication systems. Okay, there's another opportunity for us. More communication satellites, which again ISS is working with, but there are other companies as well that use satellite. There are plenty of companies that do. So with that being said, again, this is a great opportunity to, show up, prove that the technology can withstand the forces and the gravity, right? As well as anything else that it has to come across. So I wanted to point that out for this this little overall analyst of this Nano Dimensions, but of this specific summary. And so I think this is great to see and for you to understand. But with that being said, let's go ahead and check out how that's going to affect, or how Nano Dimensions is going to be affected by this new infrastructure plan. So with Biden's $2 trillion infrastructure plan, I know most of you like numbers, and so this is what it is. Now, the U.S. is ranked 13th in the world in overall infrastructure, according to the World Economic Forum report in 2019. So the Biden administration is using that ranking to emphasize the need to rebuild and upgrade the roads, bridges, and so forth. So with that being said, number 28%. Here's the thing, corporate was getting taxed in 2017 at 21%, but now it's going to be raised to 28%. So for not only just Nano Dimensions, but the market overall, keep that in mind. That's going to be an increase of 7%. Now, while the plan would spend most of the time funding over 8 years, the corporate tax change will raise the estimated $2 trillion over 15 years, which that's something that you need to know, and it is good to know. Now, when it comes to transportation, you've got 174 billion in EV, 115 in bridges and roads, 20 billion in improved road safety, right? So 50 billion in infrastructure resilience, airports, ports in general, highways. So when all these things are taking place for these homes, the schools, the buildings, the internet, electricity, for me, it's only going to add value for Nano Dimensions. Why? Because when we are transporting items from point A to point B, and there's money that's circulating within the economy, it's eventually going to get back to Nano Dimensions. So I wanted to point that out because when you're looking at the chart this week, it's a clear indicator that it was a major result for everybody. So again, I wanted to point that out. Now, with that being said, let's check out the chart. Okay, so when you want to read a candlestick chart, a candlestick charting is simply a method of displaying price information in a market. Now, unlike a simple line chart, each series on a candlestick chart contains 4 data points, and those points you need to keep in mind. Now, the opening price, the high price, the low price, and the closing price. But with that being said, you still have to understand the anatomy of a candlestick. Now, there are 3 basic features: the body, the wick, and the color. Now, with the color, most people understand, and they understand that it represents the direction of price of movement, but a green body shows a price increase, while a red, right, that indicates a price decrease. Now, with the wick and the body, now the body indicates the open to close range. So what does that mean? So for example, when it's green, when it opens up, depending on what it opens up, when it closes, if it closes higher than what it opened up as, it's green. Now it's vice versa for the red. Now the wicks, also called tails or shadows, they are these long thin lines above and below the main body. Now these reveal the intraday highs and lows, and so I want you to keep that in mind. Now there are examples of popular candlestick patterns. So that's going to be the bullish hammer pattern, the bullish engulfing candlestick, as well as the bullish morning star candlestick. So keep that in mind. But what I want to show you is when you expand it, here's the biggest thing. It's going to be the volume, okay? And that's going to be the buys and the sells, right? Because that's what's going to move the stock itself. So when you're looking at the volume, again, it's not predicated towards buys or only sells. It's both. So when you're looking at that trend line, originally, let's say at 10:30 of last year, you're looking at an open of 296 and a high of 304, and around that area was the trend line. But now when you're looking at this new trend line, it looks like the resistance has been pushed and we have new support at 828. So with that being said, I almost would say that it's around 750 to 830 as its new support line. Now it had a high of 1789, which is great, but with that being said, we're going to have to continue to get more support. And as you can see, we've got the volume that's still taking place every single day, which is great. So I think they're going to continue to get more catalysts, especially with this situation with the International Space Station. As soon as their technology is proven, especially I can't wait 6 months from now, things are really going to just skyrocket up. So with that being said, guys, I really do appreciate you taking the time to listen. Thank you for the support. And with that being said, welcome to the Ticker family.